Hey there, this is Jexy with the Systems Alliance, and in this video we're going to go over Bethesda's Fallout 76, its beta, and what exactly we're going to be getting for the actual release of the game, and it turns out they're not able to fix any of these problems. So if you've been playing Fallout 76 beta, you know that it's just full of glitches. And I know there's been some apologists out there saying, well, it's just the beta. Well, guess what? This game's releasing like now. So if you thought they had a chance to clean it up, well, you were wrong because they just released a statement saying they're not able to fix it. So I'm really wondering what's been going on behind the scenes at Bethesda Studios, because this game is built on a really old engine. You know, an engine so old that everyone knows how to get around it. Everyone knows how to cheat in it. Everyone knows how to mod it already. I mean, it's like, what, 10, 15 years old? This is a brand new game. It doesn't look graphically great because it's built on such an old engine, but it's like, okay, so maybe the game doesn't need to look graphically great for what it's supposed to be, and that's fine. But it also means that you've had this engine for 10 or 15 years. You should be an expert at it right now. As far as the development goes, the devs should be able to do this game, you would think, almost in no time compared to other games, because they've been using the same engine over and over. It should be easy to work with at this point. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they've been able to. And if you have played the beta, whether or not you forgive him or not, there's been some pretty terrible glitches, some pretty terrible things that have not been fixed, some pretty obvious things that you would expect from a game to be fixed or to come capable with not only in the beta, but at launch as well. So here are some of the things that they're not going to be fixing. The first thing is their ultra-wide monitor support. So if you're a PC gamer and you have an ultra-wide monitor, obviously most people may not have an ultra-wide monitor, but if you do, pretty much all PC games, any new one coming out, supports this, and it really enhances your gaming experience. So an ultra-wide screen is a 21:9 screen. Now, regular one is 16:9, and instead of just cutting off the edges and giving you 16:9, what it does is it actually stretches out your entire screen if you're using an ultra-wide screen. So it looks terrible. The fact that that would even be their solution for it is a little ridiculous, even though it's just the beta. I mean, they can't even get their engine to work on it. So it's not like they said that they're abandoning it completely. They said post-launch, we will integrate ultra-wide support, and they'll put it in their patch notes and let you know when to expect it. But there's no expected date as of now, so who knows how long it will be. It won't be ready on launch date. It will be a month, a year. Will it ever come? I mean, they say that they're going to do it, but the game is so broken, will they actually get to it? So that's number one. Especially for PC gamers who do have the gear and the tech, ultra-wide is kind of standard, so the fact that they don't have it is just a little weird. So the next one they mention is stash size. Now, there's been a lot of complaints from the community regarding this, and it's always been an issue in games before, or at least not all games, some games, but definitely this one. And so you think they would have thought this out already, but it doesn't look like they have. So games like Destiny have been reluctant to increase their stash size because it does cost them money when they're engineering the game, but at the same time, people playing the Fallout beta were reaching their stash size limit just clicking on stuff, like a half an hour or an hour into playing the game. You're already reaching your limit that fast? I don't know any game where you reach it that fast. You know, for instance, let's just say Dragon Age Origins. You're picking up stuff, you can increase it, but there is a max limit. So you know, given what you have, what you want to carry, before you go into a really long mission, you gotta go to the store, make sure you sell everything you don't need, but what you get out of any mission, usually you can fit in your stash. You're never like going overboard, you're never not being able to pick stuff up, you're never having to destroy some items or anything like that. But with Fallout, you're reaching that almost immediately, and especially in the type of game it is, that's pretty unacceptable. So the other thing that is worrisome is that other games like The Division have tried to tie stash size to money. So hey, you get the previous version of the game or whatever, you can buy the Ultimate Edition, you do this, we'll increase your stash size for the next game. It's like, you couldn't just give me the full game on release? That stuff really bothers me, and bothers a lot of gamers too. I mean, you just feel like you're being ripped off, and if you were gonna put it in anyway, why didn't you just put it in to begin with? Not that Bethesda is going to do this because this game is just so crappy. I have a feeling it's not going to sell very well, especially after launch. I think a lot of people are going to be returning this game. I think a lot of people are going to be not getting into it. The word of mouth is going to be bad because there's no way that they fix the amount of bugs that are currently in game. There's too many. And this doesn't really affect anything. This isn't an actual bug, it's just a poor feature. But anyway, moving on. So the next one is their field of vision slider. So as many know, when you're playing a game, whether it's on console or PC, usually you have the option to zoom in and out. And if you're zoomed in too much, especially if you're close to the screen, whether it's on a 50-inch plasma right in front of you, or I guess 80-inch now, or just say a big monitor and you're playing on the PC, you will find out that I'm getting a little motion sickness. It's a little choppy here, getting a little nauseous here. And so the response is that, well, we haven't supported a field of vision slider on previous games, so we're not going to be doing it on this game. And why? Well, it causes a lot of animations to break and a lot of clipping to occur. They say you have the option of going to a third-person view versus the first-person view, but they won't be adding the field of vision slider for the first-person view, which that to me is so funny because there's already mods for it. You can just Google field of vision for Skyrim or any of their other games, and you could find this feature, you can find this mod, install it, use it. So if it's already out there, if the code is already out there, then what is Bethesda doing? They know it's out there. They're just not going to use it. They're not going to fix it. They're not going to do anything about it. Why? Why would you not fix your broken game that is causing people to not want to play it when you could easily fix it? To me, I have no clue. So as I mentioned in the very beginning of the video, one of the things that people have been finding are exploits in the game, a bunch of cheats, ways to cheat the game, easily break it, mess up gameplay with other players, which in this type of game is huge. It's one thing to cheat in a game where you're not really interacting with other players, but in a game where you are, that's a huge deal and can really ruin the entire world. And to this they said many of the exploits that we've seen reported are already known, and we plan on addressing them at a future date. So it doesn't say all, it doesn't say some, just like we know about them, we'll be addressing them, who knows how many at a later date. Once again, this goes back to what I originally said regarding their engine. Why is this game so bad running on an engine that's so old? And that's two questions. Why are they using an engine that's so old? Why wouldn't they use a new engine? And secondly, if you're using an old engine, you should know it like the back of your hand. If you've been using it for 10 to 15 years, why can't you make it run properly without all these bugs and bits of exploitable code that people can easily hack into? Which, especially in this game, you would think you really wouldn't want anyone to be doing this because it will ruin your entire game. I mean, this is why people have stopped playing PUBG and have moved over to Fortnite. It's because of the cheating. It's so rampant, they can't stop it. I mean, well, you could stop it by putting money to code, but PUBG decided to put money into monetizing players more, adding more microtransactions and loot boxes instead of fixing their own game. So they keep losing their audience. And yeah, they've been going over to Fortnite because Fortnite runs clean. It's not buggy like PUBG. So whether it's this, like, hey, we know there's crazy bugs, we're not going to fix them, or the previous, FOV slider, this is your engine. There's already free fixes out there. There's already fixes out there that modders have just made themselves. You can't be bothered to fix your game upon release? That just is mind-boggling to me. It doesn't really make any sense. Again, why not just do it? What is going on behind the scenes here? Why is this game so bad? Why did you not have enough time to make it? So one of the other things that they're not fixing about the game, if you've been playing the beta, you know that if you're wearing your headset or whatever it is, you might hear some gunshots really close to you. So you're standing right there, you don't see anyone around you, and all of a sudden, boom, loud gunshots in your ear. You assume, oh my God, someone must be right next to me, sneaking up on me, but it's not. It's someone so far off in the distance, you can either not see him, barely see him, maybe you just see him like really far away, but the sound sounds really close. They know that that's a problem. Obviously the sound, the distance from what's actually happening to where you're hearing it is not being accounted for. Something's wrong with the code. They're not fixing that at launch either. They said near launch, but not at launch. So right now, that's still broken as well. And the number one feature that people have been complaining about is their push-to-talk feature. So one, it doesn't have it. But two, just to let you know what push-to-talk is, you have a feature on your microphone. So basically, click a button and then it'll activate your mic. So when you're talking, people can hear you, but they're not hearing you when you're not talking. It's not new technology. It's been around forever. I mean, even if you're at work and you need to use a headset, you probably have a mute option, right? And when you want to talk, boop, unmute, talk. boop, mute again. They don't hear the boop. You hear that in your ear, just a little beep, but the people on the other end, they just hear what you have to say, what's important, what you want them to hear, because maybe you're eating. I'm always playing with friends and all of a sudden I hear munching on chips. Now, of course, they're my friends. What are you eating? What's up? But otherwise, I don't want to hear that from other people who I'm not friends with or not talking to, or, whatever the situation is. Either way, a lot of times someone will just say, hey, turn your mic off when you're chewing, or, something like that. Or you'll try to chew softer or whatever. But hey, sometimes you hear people in the background, like people got lives, people have families, people got stuff going on in the background. They don't want you hearing that. So if there's kids making loud noises or just other family members talking, or maybe you need to have a private conversation that you can have while playing the game, still get your stuff accomplished in real life, and then go back to playing the game, well, guess what? Bethesda's Fallout 76 may not be for you because there is no push to talk. And here's what they say about it. While we aim to create a consistent experience no matter what platform you're on, we understand that some of you on PC would like the option for push to talk. One goal with voice chat being on by default is to highlight that the world is full of real people, other players like you. We like to start with encouraging player interaction, and we'll be adding this feature in the near future. So I'm not really sure why they wouldn't enable this, other than that their code is so screwed up right now that they can't, but no one wants to hear a bunch of other people that they don't actually want to hear. You might be talking to someone else and then another character walks by you and then they think you're talking to them. It's a mess, and then it's also on in the vault. And so as you're creating your character, people are like commenting on you and everything like that. It's such a weird thing to not fix. It's actually baffling to me, and the fact that no one wants it on, there's no petition, hey, keep this on, we love this feature, but everyone is saying get rid of it, allow us to use push to talk. It's just really confusing. I'm not really sure why they would do that. Doesn't make any sense to me. And their excuse saying, well, we want people to feel like it's a living world. Well, if I want to be in a living world, I will go outside. But if I'm playing a game, maybe I want to just play a game. What they don't understand is the same concept with, say, open offices. So I'm sure you've heard the concept of an open office like Google or Facebook or one of these tech companies. No more cubicle walls. It's all about cool collaboration, and we got couches, we got beanbag chairs. This is the future of working. And it wasn't tested before. It just seemed like a good idea. But turns out these tech companies are going away from that because they found that people are just distracted. There's less collaboration because what people do in an open area like that, they don't want to disturb other people, right? Because generally people are polite, especially in a work area where they know people are working. So what do they go ahead and do? Well, they go and pop in their headphones. They send an IM or an email instead of walking over to someone to talk to them, because the person right next to them is going to hear that conversation. And that's very distracting. Also, you can't have private conversations, which sometimes you need, not only in the workplace with your coworkers, but also with clients. If you have information that you're giving, say, one person externally that you can't have another person externally hearing, well, now if that other person externally is on the phone with someone next to you, they can hear you. The mics pick that up. And so while other businesses are still migrating to that open office, the tech companies that pioneered it are going the opposite way. And the same thing will happen here. They'll find out that people just won't talk at all. They just won't use their mics. Why plug it in and have people hear stuff that you don't want them to hear? And why would you want to hear other people's stuff that you don't want to hear? You're killing the collaboration, you're killing the open world, because the only people who are going to be plugged in are the people you really don't want to hear at that point. So let me know your thoughts about all this. This game is super buggy, and the list of things that they're going to fix are not really huge. They don't fix the actual brokenness of the game. It's just features that are missing that should be in the game. Does this make you want to play the game? The short list of fixes that they're putting in? Have you played the beta? What do you think of it? Let me know if you've played the beta, what you think about this, because to me, it's been absolutely terrible. But hey, maybe to you, you found some enjoyment out of it, whatever it is, but do you still expect these things to be fixed when the game comes out? Because it's obviously not going to be. Does that make you disappointed? Will you not buy the game because of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and we'll catch you later.